The galaxy was ablaze with whispers of the invasion. No one had seen the Xylar Dominion for centuries, but their return was inevitable. Across the vast expanse of the universe, civilizations braced themselves for the storm. The Dominion, a race of towering insectoid creatures, had brought entire star systems to their knees before. The Xylars were ruthless, their weapons unmatched, and their will unyielding. The Galactic Council, composed of species from every corner of the known universe, was in turmoil. Diplomats and strategists from every race sat in the Grand Chamber, their faces twisted with fear. The Xylars had made their demands clear: complete submission or annihilation. There was no room for negotiation. The Thalaxians, a peaceful race of philosophers, huddled in the corner, eyes wide with terror. The Kreth, known for their advanced technology, had already begun dismantling their fleet in surrender. The Zumnari, warriors renowned for their might, were trembling, knowing the inevitable was coming. Their once proud race, capable of fighting off hundreds of enemies at once, was now reduced to cowering in the face of the Xylars' unrelenting might. But in the midst of this despair, one species stood apart: humans. Captain Laura Hill stood at the center of the council chamber, her posture straight, her eyes locked onto the massive hologram of the Xylar emissary, who stood towering, a figure of malice and power. The insectoid's mandibles clicked ominously as it spoke, demanding the unconditional surrender of the galaxy. Yet, Laura didn't flinch. She wasn't afraid. The humans had long been underestimated by the other species. The galaxy had once seen them as a primitive, chaotic race, unworthy of their place among the stars. But in the face of destruction, the humans had shown something the others did not: resolve. "We won't bow," Laura said, her voice firm, echoing through the chamber. "We won't be intimidated. If the Xylars want war, they'll have it." A murmur rippled through the chamber. The other races, each so quick to submit, stared at her in disbelief. Was she really declaring defiance against the Xylar Dominion? The room went silent, as if the very idea was inconceivable. The Xylars had crushed entire fleets before. What chance did these fragile humans stand? The Xylar emissary let out a low, menacing growl. "Your species is insignificant," he hissed. "We have destroyed civilizations far more powerful than yours. Your efforts will be futile." Laura took a deep breath, her fingers grazing the control panel in front of her. "Futile? Maybe, but we're going to make you fight for it. We won't just roll over like the others." Her words were met with stunned silence. The other council members glanced nervously at each other, some already retreating into the shadows, mentally preparing themselves to flee. But Laura's gaze never wavered from the hologram. She knew something they didn't. Humans had the will to fight, and that was all they needed. As the days passed, the humans rallied their forces. The Xylars began their march across the galaxy, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. But in every system they invaded, humanity stood tall. The first real battle came at the edge of the Sirius system, a small but strategic outpost of human colonies. When the Xylar fleet arrived, they expected an easy victory. The humans had only a fraction of their strength, and their ships were crude compared to the advanced war machines of the Xylars. But what they didn't count on was the ingenuity of the humans. The human warships were outdated, yes, but they were brimming with unexpected surprises. Primitive designs, yes, but they were packed with raw power, desperation, and a fierce desire to survive. The Xylars launched their first wave, and their battle cruisers opened fire. The humans retaliated with devastating force, their weapons designed to be unpredictable, using tactics the Xylars had never encountered before. The first wave of invaders was scattered, their ships caught in crossfire they couldn't anticipate. The Dominion's commanding officer, General Thrax, was enraged. How dare they? He screamed, watching the unexpected human resistance unfold. Crush them, all ships, full assault. But the humans were not easily defeated. They'd fought back with everything they had, outnumbered, outgunned, but undeterred. The Xylars, used to commanding fear and surrender, had no idea how to handle an enemy that refused to bend, an enemy that fought with everything in their bones. The war raged on, and the humans' resistance only grew stronger. More species joined the fight, inspired by the audacity of the humans. The Thalaxians, once fearful, began to fight back, their advanced philosophers now leading tactical strikes. The Kreth, once quick to surrender, found their courage in the shadow of humanity's defiance. Even the Zunari, their once powerful warriors, rallied to the cause. The galaxy was no longer a place of fear. It had become a battleground where the might of the Exilers was challenged by a single small race that refused to be cowed. The Exilers may have thought they could crush humanity easily, but they were learning the hard way that humans were not to be underestimated. The turning point came when a human fleet, led by Captain Hill, ambushed the Exilar flagship in the Gorthan Nebula. It was a risky move, but the humans were never afraid to take risks. They'd faced worse odds before. As the battle raged, Captain Hill's ship, the Bold Eagle, delivered a crippling blow to the Exilar flagship, disabling its primary weapons. The Exilers, shaken and stunned, were forced to retreat for the first time in their long history of conquest. And so, the legend of humanity's defiance spread across the stars. The Exilar Dominion would never be the same. As the war raged on, one truth became undeniable. While everyone else cowered in fear, the humans stood boldly in the face of their greatest challenge. And in the end, it was the Exilers who learned the hardest lesson of all: never underestimate the resolve of a species that has nothing to lose but everything to fight for.